Welcome back to English SpekNest.
The place where we slow down, we talk real, and we figure out how to actually use the English we already know.
And today's episode, oh my goodness, you guys are going to want to grab a coffee, get cozy, because this one is personal.
Today, we're talking about how to think fast and speak smart. And trust me, by the end of this conversation, you're going to see yourself completely differently.
Okay, before we dive in, Ethan, can we just take a moment? You walked into the studio today with the biggest iced coffee I have ever seen.
Listen, Olivia, I had a rough morning. I was on a Zoom call at 7 a.m. and somebody asked me a question I had no answer for. So this coffee, this is therapy.
Oh, that's the perfect setup for today's episode. That is literally the topic.
It really is. And, hey, to everyone listening, whether you're walking your dog, you're commuting to work, you're cleaning the kitchen, or you're hiding in your car because you needed a 5-minute break from your family, we see you.
We see you and we love you for it.
I'm Olivia, by the way, in case this is your first time joining us.
And I'm Ethan. And together, we are your hosts here on English SpekNest.
So Ethan, real talk. Before we get into all the strategy and the science and the storytelling, have you ever had a moment where you just froze, like in front of people?
Oh, Olivia, let me tell you a story. So this was about maybe 7 years ago. I was at this networking event in Chicago. Big room, beautiful hotel, probably 200 people.
Oh no, I can already feel where this is going.
Yeah. So I'm standing there holding my little sparkling water, trying to look important. You know that move?
The I'm definitely not lonely, I'm just sipping move.
Exactly. And then this woman walks up to me, very confident, very put together, and she goes, "So what do you do?"
The classic.
And Olivia, I have done my job for 10 years. 10 years. And in that moment, my brain just shut down. I said, and I quote, "I work with computers sometimes."
Bursting into laughter. No, you did not say that.
I said that to a stranger with my full chest.
I'm like laughing, still recovering. Sometimes. Like, what does that mean? You take weekends off from being a human?
I think I blacked out. I genuinely don't remember the next 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but here's the thing. Everybody has had a moment like that. Everybody.
And that's exactly what got me obsessed with this topic. Because I started asking myself, why? Why does the brain do that? Why do smart, capable, articulate people freeze up the moment the pressure's on?
Right, because it's not a vocabulary problem. You know the words.
Exactly. You know them. You use them every day in your head. But the second the spotlight hits you, the words run away like cats when you turn on the vacuum.
That is the most accurate analogy I have ever heard.
So I started researching. I talked to communication coaches. I watched debate champions. Okay, this is going to sound nerdy. I studied stand-up comedians.
Wait, why comedians?
Because, Olivia, comedians are the masters of thinking fast. Think about it. When a heckler shouts something from the back of a club, they have to come up with a comeback in 1 second. Not 1 minute, 1 second.
Whoa, I never thought about that.
And they make it look effortless. But it's not. It's a skill, a learnable, trainable skill.
Okay, so what's the secret? What did you find out?
All right, here's the first big thing. And this changed everything for me. The reason you freeze up is because you're trying to find the perfect answer.
Say more.
When someone asks you a question, your brain, especially if you're a thoughtful person, a smart person, it starts running through every possible answer, looking for the best one. And while it's doing that,
The silence is getting longer, the panic is rising, and now you can't think of any answer.
Yes, exactly. Perfection kills speed. Always.
Oh, that's so true. I do that all the time. Someone asks me, "Hey, what'd you think of the movie?" And I sit there like I'm writing my graduate thesis.
Right? When the actual answer is just, it was fun. I cried a little. The dog scene got me.
Done! That's a great answer.
Okay, here's another situation. And tell me if this has ever happened to you. You're at work. Someone in the meeting suddenly turns to you and says, "Hey, what do you think?"
Oh, the ambush question.
The ambush question. And in that moment, what do most people do?
They go, well, that's a great question.
I'll have to circle back on that.
Let me put a pin in that one.
Corporate speak for I have no idea. Please leave me alone.
It's so true, though.
But here's what people who think fast do differently. They don't try to give the complete answer. They give a starting answer.
What do you mean?
Like, instead of trying to deliver this perfect, polished 3-paragraph response, they just say, my first instinct is... And then they start talking. And the answer builds itself.
Oh, that's actually genius. Because once you start talking, your brain catches up.
Yes. Your brain follows your mouth, not the other way around. That's the trick.
Okay, can I share something? Because this reminds me of something that happened to me in college.
Please.
So, I was in this public speaking class. I was terrified of this class, by the way. And the professor had this thing he would do. He'd randomly pick someone and he'd say, "Stand up. You have 10 seconds to start talking about," and then he'd pick a random object in the room, like a stapler or a window.
Oh, that sounds like torture.
It was. The first time he called on me, he said, "Olivia, stand up, talk about that ceiling fan. Go."
What did you do?
I panicked. I tried to think of something smart to say about a ceiling fan, which is impossible, by the way. Have you ever tried to be profound about a ceiling fan?
Not recently, no.
So I just stood there for what felt like an hour. And then he said something I will never forget. He said, "Olivia, you're not failing because you don't know what to say. You're failing because you're trying too hard to be impressive. Just describe it."
Whoa.
And it hit me. I'd been carrying this pressure my whole life that every time I opened my mouth, I had to say something brilliant. But sometimes you just need to start. Just describe what's in front of you.
That's powerful.
And from that day on, in that class, I had a rule. When I had no idea what to say, I would just start by describing. I see a ceiling fan. It has 4 blades. It's spinning slowly. It reminds me of my grandmother's house. And suddenly, I had a story.
And once you have a story, you have everything.
Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this conversation and you want more English podcast episodes like this one, don't forget to subscribe to English SpekNest and turn on those notifications.
We drop new episodes that are designed to help you not just learn English, but actually live in it, speak it, feel it, think in it.
And honestly, your subscription, it means the world to us. It's how we know to keep making these.
So hit that button and let's keep going, because we're just getting into the good stuff. Okay, so Olivia, here's something I want to talk about, because I think a lot of our listeners need to hear this. The reason we freeze up, it's not a character flaw. It's biology.
Tell me more.
When you feel social pressure, when people are looking at you, waiting for you to speak, your brain literally goes into a kind of fight or flight mode. Your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part, kind of steps aside. And your amygdala, the fear part, takes over.
So we're not being weak. We're just being human?
Exactly.
You can't shame yourself out of it. You have to train through it.
That's such a relief, honestly, because I think a lot of people listening, and I've been there, they feel broken. They feel like, why can't I just be smooth? Why can't I just be one of those people?
And the answer is, you can. But not by trying harder in the moment, by training your brain before the moment ever happens.
Okay, so let's get practical. What are the actual habits? Like if someone's listening right now and they're driving in their car and they're thinking, I want to be that person who can just talk. What do they do?
Great question. I've boiled it down to 3 habits. You ready?
I have my mental notebook open.
Smiling. Habit number 1, the daily talking warm-up.
What's that?
Every morning, and this sounds weird, but stay with me. Every morning, talk out loud about your day. For 2 minutes. By yourself.
Like in the mirror?
In the mirror, in the shower, in the car, wherever. Just say, today is Tuesday, I'm going to work, I'm meeting Sarah for lunch, I'm a little nervous about the meeting at 3 because, and just keep going.
And what does that do?
It activates your speaking muscles before the world demands them from you. Most people's first conversation of the day is when somebody else forces them to talk. So they're cold, they're rusty. By the time they warm up, the moment's gone.
Oh, that's so smart. It's like stretching before a workout.
Exactly. You wouldn't go run a marathon cold. Why would you go into a high-stakes conversation cold?
Okay, habit 2.
Habit 2, read out loud.
Read out loud?
Yes. Pick anything, an article, a book, even social media posts, and read them out loud for 10 minutes a day.
Why does that work?
Because when you read out loud, you're training your mouth to handle complex sentences. You're getting used to the feeling of sophisticated language coming out of your face.
Coming out of your face. That's a great way to put it.
Because so many of us, we read these big, smart ideas in our head all day. We're brilliant in our heads. But our mouths? Our mouths only know how to order coffee.
I'll have a venti. Okay, I'm tapped out.
Right. So you have to bridge the gap. Read out loud. Your mouth will start to feel comfortable saying things like, I think there's a fundamental misalignment between our strategy and our outcomes.
Oh, wow, you just said that.
I did, because I practice.
Okay, habit 3. What's the magic one?
Habit 3, the 1-minute story.
No.
Every single day, take one thing that happened to you, something tiny, and turn it into a 1-minute story. Out loud.
Like what?
Like, this morning I went to get coffee, and there was this guy in line in front of me who couldn't decide between a cappuccino and a latte for what felt like 600 years. And I started thinking about how indecision is kind of like, and just keep going.
Oh, I love this.
Because here's the thing, humans are storytelling creatures. We don't connect through facts, we connect through stories. And if you can take any moment in your life and spin it into a 1-minute story, you will never run out of things to say.
That's true. I have a friend like that. You ask her, how was your weekend? And instead of saying fine, she goes, oh my gosh, let me tell you about the disaster at the grocery store. And you're hooked.
Exactly. She's not living a more interesting life than you. She's just telling it more interestingly.
You know, Ethan, this is making me think about something deeper. Because I think a lot of people who struggle to speak smartly, they don't really have a speaking problem.
What do you mean?
I mean, they have a self-worth problem. They've been told somewhere along the way, maybe by a teacher, maybe by a parent, maybe by a kid in 7th grade, that their thoughts aren't valuable, that what they have to say doesn't matter. And so when they go to speak, there's this little voice in their head going, don't say it. It's stupid. They'll laugh.
Yeah, that hits.
And so we freeze. Not because we don't know what to say, but because we don't believe we have the right to say it.
That's so true. And I think for anyone listening who feels that, I just want to say, your voice matters. The thing you almost said in the meeting today, that was probably the best idea in the room.
The thing you swallowed at the dinner table? The world needed to hear it.
And maybe today, the practice isn't about getting smarter. Maybe it's about getting braver.
Yeah.
Okay, let me throw something at you. And I want our listeners to think about this too. Imagine you're at a dinner party, big table, lots of people you don't know, and suddenly someone asks you, "So, what's the most interesting thing that's happened to you this year?"
Oh, no.
What do?
Honestly, my old self would have said, oh, not much. Pretty normal year. Pass the bread.
Right, the shrink yourself response.
But now I think I'd just pick a moment. Any moment. The time I got lost driving home from a place I've been 1,000 times. The time I made the worst pasta of my life. Anything. And I just start telling it.
Yes, because here's the thing. You don't need an interesting life to be an interesting person. You just need to notice the small moments and then tell them with energy.
That's such a freeing idea.
Okay, I want to share one more thing, and this one surprised me when I learned it.
Ooh, what?
The people who speak the smartest are actually the people who pause the most.
Wait, what?
I know. It's counterintuitive. We think smart speakers are fast. They're not. They're deliberate. Watch any great speaker. Obama, Oprah, any TED Talk you love. They pause. Constantly.
Why does that work?
Because pauses do two things. One, they give your brain a second to catch up. Two, they make whatever you say next land. A pause is like a frame around your words. It tells the listener, this part matters.
Oh, that's powerful.
So the next time you're talking and you feel that panic rising, instead of speeding up, slow down. Let the silence work for you. Most people are terrified of silence, but silence is your friend.
Silence is so awkward, though.
Only if you make it awkward. If you pause confidently, chin up, eyes steady, it looks like you're thinking. If you pause anxiously, eyes darting, mouth open, it looks like you forgot.
Okay, that is such a good distinction.
Let me give you a real example. A couple of years ago, I had a job interview. Big one. Dream company.
Ooh, tell me.
And the interviewer asked me this brutal question. He said, tell me about a time you completely failed.
Oh, the worst.
Now, old Ethan would have panicked. Old Ethan would have started talking before he had an answer just to fill the silence, and he would have rambled into some half story that made him look like a disaster.
Yeah, I know that, Ethan.
But new Ethan? I just sat there. I took a breath. I looked at him, and I said, that's a great question. Let me think for a second. And I paused for maybe 10 seconds.
10 seconds in an interview? That feels like an hour.
It felt like an eternity. But I held it. And then I told him a story. A real one. About a project I led that went sideways. And what I learned. And how it grew.
Did you get the job?
I got the job.
Of course you did.
And later, the hiring manager told me, you know what made you stand out? You were the only candidate who took your time. Everyone else rushed their answers. You looked like you actually thought.
That is such a powerful lesson.
So, Olivia, if we had to wrap this up, if someone's listening right now and they want to walk away with the real takeaway, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that thinking fast and speaking smart, it isn't about being a genius. It's not about having the biggest vocabulary. It's not about being the loudest person in the room. It's about three things:
confidence in your own voice, practice when no one's watching, and patience in the moment.
That's beautiful.
And for anyone who's ever frozen up, ever said the wrong thing, ever walked away from a conversation thinking, why didn't I just say what I meant? I just want you to know, you're not broken. You're just untrained. And training is free. It starts the next time you open your mouth.
And I want to add something. The world needs your voice. I really believe that. Every brilliant idea, every kind word, every story that changes someone's life, they all start with somebody being brave enough to speak. Don't let your best thoughts die inside your head. Practice in the mirror. Practice in the car. Read out loud when no one's watching. Tell your stories to your dog. Tell them to a houseplant. I don't care. Just speak.
Because one day, and this is the promise, one day you're going to be in a room and someone's going to ask you a question and the words are going to come out smooth, smart, like you were born to say them.
And in that moment, you're going to realize you didn't get lucky. You got ready. Goosebumps. Wow. Okay. What an episode.
Yeah, this one got me a little emotional, not gonna lie.
Me too. And to everyone who stayed with us all the way to the end, thank you. From the bottom of our hearts. We know your time is precious. The fact that you spent it with us, it means everything.
So now we want to hear from you. What do you think about this topic? Have you ever had a moment where you froze up? Or maybe a moment where you surprised yourself by speaking up?
Drop it in the comments. Tell us your story. We read every single one. And honestly, the best parts of this channel are the conversations that happen down there. And if this episode helped you even a little, share it with a friend who needs to hear it. Someone in your life right now is struggling with this exact thing. Be the person who sends them the link.
And of course, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Join the English SpekNest family. We post new episodes every week, designed to help you not just learn English, but live it.
Because at the end of the day, language isn't just about words. It's about connection. And we want to help you connect with the world, with each other, and with yourself.
Until next time, friends, keep practicing, keep speaking, keep showing up.
And remember, your voice matters. Don't let anyone, including yourself, convince you otherwise.
This has been English SpekNest. I'm Olivia.
And I'm Ethan.
We'll see you in the next one.